Welcome to Krishna Soul Sutra. Have you ever stood at a crossroads in your life, feeling completely paralyzed? Maybe it's not a battlefield with thousands of soldiers, but it feels just as intense. Perhaps you are staring at a screen, overwhelmed by an inbox full of demands, or sitting in a quiet room, wondering if the path you've chosen for your career or your life is truly the right one. We all face these moments. The moments where logic fails us, where our emotions are in turmoil, and where we desperately need clarity. It's a universal human experience. Whether you are a student stressing over exams, a professional navigating corporate burnout, or someone in the twilight years reflecting on your legacy, the feeling is the same. You are seeking answers. Today, we are beginning a journey into the Krishna Soul Sutra. We are going to explore the oldest, yet perhaps the most contemporary, conversation ever held. This is the story of the Bhagavad Gita. More than 5,000 years ago, on the plains of Kurukshetra, two massive armies stood poised for a war that would change the course of history. The banners were flying, the conch shells were blowing, and the atmosphere was thick with tension. In the center of this chaos stood Arjuna, a mighty warrior, known for his strength and his aim. But in that moment, his bow fell from his hand. He didn't see enemies anymore, he saw teachers, friends, and family. He saw the potential for destruction and questioned the very purpose of his duty. It is one of the most relatable moments in spiritual literature, the hero, paralyzed by the weight of his own decisions. Beside him, however, was his charioteer, Lord Krishna. And in the middle of this high-stakes battlefield, time seemed to stop. Krishna didn't just give Arjuna orders, he engaged him in a profound, compassionate dialogue. He spoke to Arjuna not as a servant, but as a friend, helping him understand the nature of reality, the essence of the self, and the necessity of fulfilling one's dharma, which, simply put, is your inherent duty or the right way of living. The relevance why the Gita still matters. You might ask, why should I care about an ancient conversation from a battlefield in India? The Bhagavad Gita isn't just a religious text, it is an in-depth examination of the human condition. It remains relevant today because the problems of the human mind haven't changed. We still struggle with doubt, we still deal with the fear of failure, and we still grapple with the desire for worldly success versus the need for inner peace. Stress. The Gita teaches us how to act without being consumed by the results of our actions. It's about doing your best, detaching from the anxiety of the outcome, and finding peace in the effort itself. Purpose. It helps us answer the "why am I here?" question. It reminds us that we are not just our roles, our jobs, or our titles, but something much deeper and more eternal. Decision-making. It serves as a compass for moral clarity. When everything around you is noisy and confusing, the Gita provides a structure to filter the noise and focus on what truly matters. Whether you live in New York, London, Delhi, or Tokyo, these teachings transcend borders. They speak to the seeker in everyone, regardless of background or belief system. Our journey together. In this podcast series, we are going to walk through each of the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita together. We aren't here to lecture or preach. We are here to listen, to reflect, and to translate these profound sutras, these threads of wisdom, into practical, everyday tools. We will break them down into simple concepts. We will look at how a 5,000-year-old verse applies to your workplace stress, your academic pressures, or your quiet moments of reflection at home. This is your space. It's a space to breathe, to think, and to grow. So, I invite you to join me on this journey. Subscribe to Krishna Soul Sutra and let's start turning the pages of this timeless dialogue. Let's see what wisdom we can uncover, and more importantly, how we can live it. Thank you for being here. The story of the Gita begins not with a victory, but with a breakdown. Arjuna, the greatest archer of his time, looks across the field and sees the faces of his own uncles, cousins, teachers, and friends. His heart grows heavy with a profound moral dilemma. How can he kill those he loves and respects? His hands tremble, his famous bow, the Gandiva, slips from his grasp, and he sinks into his seat, overwhelmed by grief and dejection. In this moment of utter paralysis, Arjuna turns to Krishna, not just as a friend, but as a spiritual teacher, pleading for guidance. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure, please instruct me. This sets the stage for a divine conversation that transcends the immediate conflict and explores the deepest issues of life, responsibility, and the nature of reality. You might wonder, why should a dialogue on an ancient battlefield matter to us today? The truth is, we all face our own Kurukshetras every day. We face mental battlefields of stress, doubt, and the constant pressure of making difficult decisions. We often find ourselves like Arjuna, paralyzed by the weights of our expectations, the complexities of our relationships, and the fear of failure. The Bhagavad Gita remains startlingly relevant because it is an in-depth examination of the human condition. It doesn't just provide academic summaries, it offers a practical roadmap for achieving inner peace and navigating life's challenges with courage and discernment. Whether you are a student, a professional, or someone searching for deeper meaning, the Gita addresses the fundamental questions we all ask. Who am I? What is my purpose? Why do we suffer? And how can I find lasting happiness? This scripture is often called the Gitopanishad because it is considered the essence of all Vedic knowledge. It is not just a religious text, it is a complete philosophy of life that has influenced countless thinkers, poets, and leaders across the globe. For the Indian audience, it is the heartbeat of their cultural and spiritual heritage. For the international listener, it offers a timeless perspective on how the soul can overcome the constraints of the physical world to achieve unity with the Absolute. The Gita teaches that true fulfillment is found not in pursuing external rewards or material opulence, but in cultivating inner virtues and a steady mind. Throughout this series, we will explore the 5 basic truths that the Gita establishes: the nature of God, Ishvara, the constitutional position of living beings, Jivas, the workings of material nature, Prakriti, the influence of time, Kala, and the science of action, Karma. Krishna introduces Arjuna, and us, to various paths of realization: the yoga of knowledge, Jnana, the yoga of action, Karma, and the yoga of devotion, Bhakti. We will learn the art of work, how to perform our duties with total focus and excellence while remaining detached from the results. We will discover how to master the restless mind, which can be our best friend or our worst enemy. The Gita offers a profound shift in perspective. It tells us that while the physical body is temporary and perishable, the soul within is eternal, unbreakable, and imperishable. Death is merely a change of clothing for the soul as it continues its journey. This realization is the key to fearlessness. Krishna explains that we have a right to perform our prescribed duties, but we are not entitled to the fruits of those actions. By dedicating our work to a higher cause and surrendering our ego, we can break free from the cycle of anxiety and find a state of equanimity. As we journey through these 18 chapters, we are invited to reflect on our own lives and our connection to the divine. The Gita doesn't ask us to retire from the world and hide in a forest. It asks us to transform our consciousness while standing right in the middle of our responsibilities. It teaches us how to live a righteous life with an unflinching faith. In the words of the scripture itself, wherever there is the master of all mysticism, Krishna, and the supreme archer, Arjuna, there will certainly be victory, prosperity, and extraordinary power. So, let us begin this divine journey. Let us listen to the Song of God as it speaks directly to our hearts and minds, guiding us toward the path of truth, duty, and spiritual awakening. Take a deep breath, leave your anxieties at the threshold, and prepare to enter the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Jai Shri Krishna.